The ground shook as another explosion hit close to the research station. Dr. Lisa Grant looked up from her work and saw smoke rising from the nearby hills. The war with the Vorthik was getting worse every day. Their giant war beasts were too. Strong for human weapons, Lisa worked alone in her lab most days. The other scientists had left New Dakota when the fighting started. They said she was crazy to stay behind and study alien creatures while a war was going on. But Lisa knew something important was happening here, something the military did not understand. She heard the sound of heavy footsteps outside. Then came a loud crash that made the whole building shake. Lisa grabbed her scanner and ran to the window. What she saw made her heart stop. A massive creature lay on its side, just 50 feet from her lab. It looked like a dragon mixed with a huge bull. Its skin was dark green with metal plates covering parts of its body. Blood poured from several wounds on its side. The beast was clearly dying. Lisa knew she should call for help. The military would want to study this creature. But something stopped her. She had spent months watching videos of these war beasts in battle. They always seemed so angry and violent. But this one looked different. It looked hurt and scared. She picked up her translation device and walked outside. The creature was even bigger up close. It was at least 20 feet long and 10 feet tall. Its breathing was slow and painful. She could see something metal attached to the back of its head. Wires ran from the device into its skull. Lisa had seen those devices before in her research. The Vorthik put them on all their war beasts. Most scientists thought they were just communication tools. But Lisa had a different idea. She thought they might be control devices. The beast opened one large yellow eye and looked at her. Lisa expected to see anger or hunger. Instead, she saw pain and something that looked almost like hope. The creature made a low sound that her translator picked up as words. "Help me," the device said in a mechanical voice. Lisa could not believe it. The war beast was talking to her. She moved closer, trying not to show her fear. The creature did not try to attack her. It just watched her with those big yellow eyes. "The thing on your head," Lisa said, pointing to the metal device. "It hurts you, does it not?" The beast made another sound. The translator said, "Burns inside, cannot think clear. Make me fight when no one fight." Lisa felt her heart racing. This creature was not just smart. It was being forced to fight against its will. The metal device was controlling its mind. She looked at the wires going into its skull. If she could remove the device, maybe the creature would be free. "I want to help you," she said, "but I need to take off the metal thing. It might hurt." The creature closed its eyes for a moment. Then it looked at her again. "Better hurt now than hurt forever," the translator said. Lisa ran back to her lab and got her medical tools. The war beast waited for her to return. Its breathing was getting weaker. She knew it did not have much time left. She climbed onto the creature's head and looked at the metal device. It was attached with several screws and had wires that went deep into the skull. Lisa had never done surgery on an alien before, but she had to try. Working carefully, she began to remove the screws. The beast made soft sounds of pain but did not move. Black liquid came out where the wires had been attached. Lisa worried she was making things worse. Finally, the last wire came free. She pulled the metal device away from the creature's head. The beast let out a loud roar that shook the ground. Lisa jumped back, thinking it might attack her now, but the creature did not attack. Instead, it slowly lifted its huge head and looked at her. For the first time, its eyes looked clear and bright. The pain was gone from its face. "Thank you," it said through the translator. But now its voice sounded different, less mechanical and more alive. "I am free for first time in many years." Lisa sat down on the ground, shaking from what had just happened. You were a slave, she said. They made you fight for them. Yes, the creature said. My name is Rex. I come from world far away. Vorthik came to my home. Put metal things on. All my people. Made us fight their wars. Kill innocent beings. Could not stop myself. Lisa felt tears in her eyes. All this time, humans had been fighting against creatures that did not want to fight. They were victims just like the human colonies that had been attacked. How many others are there like you? She asked. Rex tried to stand, but was too weak. Thousands, maybe millions. Every world Vorthik conquer, they take strongest creatures. Make them into weapons. All want to be free, but cannot break metal controls. What if I could help them? Lisa said, what if I could remove their control devices too? Rex looked at her with hope in his eyes. You would do this? Help creatures that have killed your people? You did not kill by choice, Lisa said. You were forced to do it. That makes you victims, not enemies. A sound came from the distance. Military vehicles were approaching. Lisa knew they would want to capture or kill Rex. She had to think fast. Can you hide? She asked Rex. The big creature shook his head. Too hurt to move far, but is okay. I die free. That is enough. No, Lisa said firmly. I will not let them hurt you. You are under my protection now. She heard Captain Ben Rivers calling her name. He was the military officer assigned to watch her research station. Lisa liked Ben, but she knew he would not understand what had happened here. Lisa, are you okay? Ben shouted as his truck got closer. We saw something crash near your lab. Lisa walked toward the approaching vehicles. She had to convince them that Rex was not a threat. She had to make them understand that everything they knew about this war was wrong. The real enemy was not the war beasts. The real enemy was the ones who controlled them. And now Lisa knew how to set them free. Captain Ben Rivers jumped out of his truck with his weapon ready. 3 soldiers followed behind him. They all stopped when they saw the huge creature lying next to Lisa's research station. Get away from that thing, Lisa, Ben shouted. It could attack at any moment. Lisa held up her hands. Ben, please listen to me. This creature is not our enemy. His name is Rex, and he was being controlled by the Vorthik. Ben kept his gun pointed at Rex. That thing has killed hundreds of our people. Step away now. Rex slowly lifted his head. I will not hurt you, he said through Lisa's translator. I am sorry for what I was forced to do. The soldiers all stepped back when they heard Rex speak. Ben's eyes went wide with surprise. It can talk, yes, Lisa said. And he can think and feel just like us. The Vorthik put control devices on these creatures. They forced them to fight against their will. Ben lowered his weapon, but did not put it away. How do I know this is not some kind of trick? Lisa walked over to show Ben the metal device she had removed from Rex's head. Look at this. See these? Wires? They went directly into his brain. The Vorthik used these to control their minds. One of the soldiers, a young man named Pete Morris, stepped closer to look. Captain, I have seen these devices before. Every war beast we have captured had one. Rex made a soft rumbling sound. Your people cut them out after killing us, but never tried to remove them while we live. Ben studied the metal device in Lisa's hands. If this is true, then we have been fighting the wrong enemy all along. Not wrong enemy, Rex said, but not complete enemy. We are weapons, not soldiers. Real enemy is ones who hold the controls. Lisa sat down on the ground next to Rex. Tell us about your world, Rex. What happened when the Vorthik came? Rex closed his eyes as if remembering something painful. My people live in peace for many generations. We build cities in the mountains. We raise families. We sing songs that travel across the wind. You can sing? Pete asked with surprise. All my people sing, Rex said. It is how we talk to each other across long distances. Our voices carry far. Ben sat down too, still holding his weapon, but no longer pointing it at Rex. What happened when the Vorthik arrived? They come with many ships, Rex continued. Say they want to trade, but then they attack. Their weapons put us to sleep. When we wake up, metal things on our heads. Cannot think clear anymore. Cannot remember our songs. Lisa felt anger building inside her. How long have you been there? Slave? Many years. Lost count. Sometimes I remember my home. Remember my mate and my children. But then metal thing burns, and I forget again. Your family, Lisa said softly. Do you know what happened to them? Rex was quiet for a long time. Some taken like me. Others killed when they fought back. Do not know which one's still alive. Ben stood up and walked away from the group. Lisa could see he was thinking hard about something. After a few minutes, he came back. If what you are saying is true, Ben said to Rex, then there might be a way to turn this war around. What do you mean? Lisa asked. Think about it, Ben said. If we can free the war beasts, they will fight for us instead of against us. They know Vorthik tactics. They know their weaknesses. Rex lifted his head with interest. You would trust us to fight beside you? If you really want freedom, Ben said, then yes. But how do we know you will not just run away once you are free? Because, Rex said in a strong voice, Vorthik still hold many of my people, still force them to kill innocent beings. I want to save them like Dr. Lisa saved me. Lisa stood up with excitement. Rex, you said your people communicate by singing. Across long distances. Can you still do that? Yes, but very weak now. Metal thing damaged my voice. Can only reach short distance. Lisa ran to her lab and came back with more equipment. What if I could make your voice stronger? What if I could help you reach other war beasts? Rex's eyes grew bright. You could. Do this? I think so, Lisa said. I need to understand how your people's communication works first. For the next several hours, Lisa worked with Rex to learn about his people's singing language. It was not just sound. Rex's people could also send electrical signals through their bodies that traveled through the ground, and Ben watched with growing amazement as Lisa built a device that could boost Rex's natural communication abilities. You think this will actually work? Only one way to find out, Lisa said. She attached her new device to Rex's throat. Try to call out to other war beasts. See if any are close enough to hear you. Rex took a deep breath and made a low, musical sound. Lisa's equipment picked up the signal and made it much stronger. The sound traveled out across the landscape like a wave. They waited in silence. Then, from somewhere in the distance, they heard an answering call. It was weak, but clear. There is one, Rex said with excitement. About 5 miles north, she is hurt and scared. Can you tell her we want to help? Lisa asked. Rex sang again, this time with more complex sounds. The answer came back quickly. She says Vorthik soldiers are chasing her. Her control device is broken, but still attached. She cannot think clearly. Ben grabbed his radio. I can send a team to find her. But, Lisa, you need to come with us. You are the only one who can remove the control device. Lisa gathered her medical tools and translation equipment. Rex, are you strong enough to come with us? Rex struggled to stand up. His wounds were still bleeding, but he managed to get to his feet. I must come. She will be afraid of humans. Need to hear my voice to know he is safe. Ben called for a medical transport vehicle big enough to carry Rex. As they waited, more calls came from the distance. Other war beasts were hearing Rex's song and responding. How many are out there? Ben asked. Rex listened carefully to the different calls. At least 6 within range. Maybe more. They are all confused and hurt. Control devices breaking down from battle damage. Lisa felt hope rising in her chest. This could be the beginning of something big, Ben. If we can free just a few more, they can help us reach others. Ben nodded. But we have to be careful. The Vorthik will figure out what we are doing soon. They will try to stop us. Let them try, Rex said in a growling voice. I have been their slave for too long. Time to fight back. The transport vehicle arrived, and they carefully helped Rex climb inside. As they drove toward the location of the trapped war beast, Lisa worked on improving her communication device. She had a feeling they were going to need it. The war was about to change in ways no one could imagine. The transport vehicle moved slowly through the rough ground toward the trapped war beast. Lisa sat next to Rex, listening to the calls that came from different directions. More creatures were responding to Rex's song. The word was spreading. There, Rex said, pointing with his massive claw toward a rocky hill. She is hiding in those caves. Ben ordered the driver to stop. Through his binoculars, he could see Vorthik soldiers searching the area. Looks like about 12 enemy troops. They are trying to find her too. Lisa checked her equipment one more time. The communication device was working perfectly. She had also built a smaller version that could be carried easily. Rex, can you tell her we are here to help? Rex made his singing sound again. This time it was softer, like a parent calling to a frightened child. An answer came back immediately. From the caves. She says the metal thing on her head is sparking and burning, Rex translated. She cannot move without great pain. The Vorthik soldiers are getting closer. Ben spoke into his radio. This is Captain Rivers. I need backup at grid reference 247. We have enemy troops in the area. Backup will take 20 minutes, came the reply. Can you wait? Ben looked at the Vorthik soldiers moving toward the caves. We do not have 20 minutes. Lisa, how long? Do you need to remove the control device? Maybe 10 minutes if everything goes well, Lisa said. But I need to get close to her first. Rex stood up in the back of the transport. I will distract the soldiers. You and Dr. Lisa go to the caves. That is too dangerous, Ben said. You are still hurt from your crash. I am stronger than I look, Rex replied. And I know how these soldiers think. They will focus on me because I am a bigger threat. Before anyone could stop him, Rex jumped out of the vehicle and began walking toward the Vorthik soldiers. He sang loudly as he moved, letting them know exactly where he was. The enemy soldiers immediately turned their weapons toward Rex. They began firing energy blasts at him. Rex dodged some of the shots, but others hit his armored skin. He roared with pain, but kept moving forward. Now, Ben said to Lisa, while they are busy with Rex. Lisa grabbed her tools and ran toward the caves. Ben and his soldiers followed, providing cover fire when needed. The sound of battle grew louder behind them as Rex fought against the Vorthik. Troops. Inside the cave, Lisa found the other war beast. She was smaller than Rex, about the size of a large truck, with blue-green scales and silver markings. The control device on her head was indeed sparking and smoking. Hello, Lisa said gently, holding up her translator. My name is Lisa. I am here to help you. The creature looked at her with eyes full of pain and fear. Rex sent you? She asked through the translator. Yes. He told us you need the metal thing removed. I can do that for you. The creature tried to move closer, but cried out in pain. Burns so much. Cannot think clearly. Sometimes I remember my real name. Sometimes I forget. Lisa climbed carefully onto the creature's head. The control device was worse than Rex's had been. Some of the wires had broken and were causing electrical burns on the creature's skull. What is your real name? Lisa asked as she began working on the screws. Maya, the creature said, I think hard to remember. Metal thing makes me forget who I am. Well, Maya, I am going to get this thing off you. Then you can remember everything. Lisa worked as quickly as she could. Outside the cave, she could hear the battle getting more intense. Rex was roaring, and the Vorthic weapons were firing constantly. She worried that he might be badly hurt. There, she said as the last wire came. Free. It is done. Maya's whole body shuddered as the control device came off. She let out a sound that was part roar and part song. Her eyes cleared and became bright and intelligent. I remember, Maya said, her voice now clear and strong. I remember my home, my children, my mate who died fighting the Vorthic. Can you move now? Lisa asked. Maya slowly stood up. She was still hurt from her battles, but the terrible pain from the control device was gone. Yes, and I can fight. They rushed out of the cave together. The scene outside was chaotic. Rex was surrounded by Vorthic soldiers, but was holding his own. Several enemy troops were already down. Ben and his soldiers were firing from behind rocks. Maya saw the battle and let out a roar of pure anger. Those are the ones who enslaved me, she said. Time for revenge. She charged into the fight with surprising speed. The Vorthic soldiers were so surprised to see two war beasts fighting against them that several stopped shooting and just stood. There in shock, Rex and Maya fought side by side, using their natural teamwork. They communicated with their singing language, coordinating their attacks. Within minutes, the remaining Vorthic soldiers were either dead or running away. That was amazing, Ben said as he came out from behind cover. You two fight like you have been partners for years. We have similar training, Rex explained. All war beasts taught same battle tactics by Vorthic, but now we use those tactics against them. Maya walked over to Lisa and lowered her huge head. Thank you for giving me back my mind. How can I repay this gift? Help us free others like yourself, Lisa said. Rex says there are many more out there. Maya's eyes lit up with excitement. Yes, I can hear them calling. Some are close. With Rex and me both singing, we can reach much farther. Lisa set up her communication equipment again. This time she connected it to both Rex and Maya. When they sang together, their combined voices were incredibly powerful. The response was immediate. Calls came from all directions. Not just one or two voices, but dozens. War beasts all across the region were hearing the song of freedom. Ben listened with growing amazement. How many are responding? Rex and Maya listened carefully to all the different calls. At least 40 within close range, Maya said, but some are still under strong control. They can hear us, but cannot respond clearly. And some are afraid, Rex added. They think this might be a trap by the Vorthic. Lisa had an idea. What if we could prove to them that you are really free? Show them that humans can be trusted? How? Maya asked. By working together openly. Let them see humans and freed war beasts fighting side by side. Ben nodded. There is a big battle happening at Sector 7. Colonel Steve Parker could use all the help he can get. If we showed up with friendly war beasts, it would change everything. Rex and Maya looked at each other. They seemed to have a whole conversation, just with their eyes and small sounds. We will do it, Rex said finally. But we need to free more of our people first. Cannot fight a big battle with just 2 of us. Then we start a rescue mission, Lisa said. We find every war beast we can and set them free. Maya sang out again, and this time her song carried a new message. It was not just a call for help, but a promise. Freedom was coming. The age of slavery was ending. All across the battlefield, enslaved war beasts heard that promise and began to hope. 3 weeks later, Lisa stood on the command deck of the human battleship Liberty, watching the biggest battle of the war unfold. Below them, the planet Haven Prime was under attack by the largest Vorthic fleet anyone had ever seen. But this time, the humans were not fighting alone, Rex, and Maya had kept their promise. Working together, they had freed over 200 war beasts across 12 different worlds. Each freed creature had helped rescue others, and the liberation movement had grown like wildfire. Colonel Steve Parker stood beside Lisa, watching the battle through the ship's viewing screen. "I still cannot believe this is working," he said. "6 months ago, those creatures were our worst enemies." Lisa smiled as she watched Rex leading a group of flying war beasts toward the Vorthic ships. "They were never our enemies, Steve. They were prisoners of war, just like our own soldiers who got captured." On the planet below, Maya was leading a ground assault with 30 other freed war beasts. They moved with perfect coordination, using their natural abilities to break through Vorthic defensive lines. The creatures that had once been the enemy's greatest weapons were now fighting for freedom. "Dr. Grant," came a voice from the communication station. "We are getting reports from all across the battle zone. Vorthic war beasts are breaking free from their control devices and joining our side." Lisa had expected this. The liberation signal she had developed could now be broadcast across entire star systems. When freed war beasts sang together, their combined voices could reach the control devices of enslaved creatures and overload them. "How many have switched sides?" Lisa asked. "Over 500 so far," the communications officer replied. "And the number is growing every minute." Colonel Parker shook his head in amazement. "In one day, we have gained more allies than we had in the previous 2 years of fighting." Lisa watched as a massive Vorthic battleship suddenly found itself under attack by its own war beasts. The creatures that had been stored in the ship's cargo bays had broken free and were tearing the ship apart from the inside. "This is General Dan Murphy," came a voice over the radio. "All human forces, advance to final positions. The enemy fleet is in chaos. We can win this battle today." Lisa felt a mix of excitement and sadness. The war was ending, but she knew the cost had been terrible for both sides. So many humans had died, and countless war beasts had been forced to kill against their will. "Dr. Grant," Rex's voice came through her personal communicator. "We have reached the Vorthic command ship, ready to begin final assault." "Be careful, Rex," Lisa replied. "Remember, we want to capture their leaders, not kill them." "Understood. We will try to take them alive." Lisa had convinced the human leadership that the Vorthic commanders needed to be put on trial for their crimes, not simply executed. She believed that justice was more important than revenge. The battle raged for 3 more hours. With each passing minute, more Vorthic war beasts broke free from their control devices and joined the liberation forces. The enemy found themselves fighting not just humans, but their own former weapons turned against them. Finally, Rex's voice came over the radio again. "Command ship is secured. We have captured the Vorthic High Commander and his staff. They are alive, but their ship is destroyed." Colonel Parker pumped his fist in the air. "That is it. Without their command ship, the rest of their fleet will surrender." He was right. Within an hour, the remaining Vorthic ships were either destroyed or had given up fighting. The war that had lasted 5 years was finally over. Lisa took a transport down to the planet's surface to meet with Rex and Maya. She found them in what had been the Vorthic Command Center, surrounded by dozens of other freed war beasts. "We did it," Maya said when she saw Lisa. "All of us are free now." Lisa looked around at the gathered creatures. They came from dozens of different worlds and looked nothing like each other. Some were covered in fur, others had scales or feathers. Some walked on 2 legs, others on 4 or 6. But they all had the same look in their eyes now, the look of freedom. "What happens now?" asked a creature that looked like a giant wolf with silver fur. "We have no homes to return to. Vorthik destroyed our worlds long ago." This was the question Lisa had been dreading. The war beasts had won their freedom, but many of them had no place to go. Their home worlds had been conquered or destroyed decades ago. "You can stay with us," Lisa said. "Earth and the human colonies have plenty of room. We can build new homes together." Rex stepped forward. "Some of us want to go back to our old worlds, try to rebuild what was destroyed. Others want to stay and help humans explore the galaxy. And some of us," Maya added, "want to hunt down the remaining Vorthik forces. Make sure they never enslave anyone again." Lisa nodded. "All of those choices are good. You are free to choose your own path now." Over the following weeks, Lisa worked with human and alien leaders to create a new organization called the Galactic Liberation Alliance. Its job was to help freed war beasts find new homes and to prevent any other species from creating slave armies. Many of the war beasts chose to stay with the humans. They became teachers, sharing knowledge about the galaxy that humans had never known. Others became explorers, helping human ships navigate dangerous parts of space. Rex and Maya both decided to stay on Earth. Rex became the first alien member of the human military, while Maya chose to work with Lisa in her research lab. "I have been thinking," Maya said one day as they worked together, "about what you did for us. You could have just studied us like objects. Instead, you saw us as people." Lisa looked up from her work. "That is what humans do best," she said. "We see the person inside, even when others see only a monster." "That is why you won the war," Rex added from across the room. "Not with bigger weapons or better ships. You won because you understood that everyone deserves to be free." Lisa smiled. The war was over, but her real work was just beginning. There were still enslaved species scattered across the galaxy. Pirates and other criminals were already trying to copy Vorthik control technology, but now she was not working alone. She had an army of freed war beasts who were determined to make sure no one else would ever be enslaved again. The galaxy was a dangerous place, but it was also full of hope. And Lisa knew that as long as there were people willing to fight for freedom, the forces of oppression would never win. The war beasts had taught her something important. Sometimes the greatest strength comes not from fighting your enemies, but from turning them into friends.